He's setting up the video. He's got to do all his stuff.
Are we going, Melody?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. I got a notification.
Welcome, everybody. It's going to be an unusual live event today. As you can see, I'm plugged into Sue over here.
Deb and I do this better.
Yeah, I got.
Who is stuck with you in the same screen?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this thing positioned where you can kind of see us both. I know I told everybody that we weren't going to have a live stream this month, but I kind of felt obligated. If we're going to start this thing, we got to do it, even though it's probably going to suck, but we're going to do it. I don't have any games we're going to play. I don't have any giveaways tonight or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're basically just going to talk about where we're at and what we're doing and the difference between me and where everybody else is at. For everybody that doesn't watch my channels regularly, Sue and I are in Rockport, Texas, and we're right on the Gulf. We're right here on the Gulf, and Melody is in the extreme northern part of the Villages. And I'm going to bring in the other two, as Sue likes to call them, dirty birds. No, she don't call them dirty birds. I'm calling them dirty. I'm going to bring them in all at the same time, and this is basically just going to be a question and answer thing. Anything you guys want to know, anything you want to ask me, Melody, or anybody else, we're just going to follow your lead. So let's bring Deb on here first. Or I'm sorry, Lady Gaga.
Here's to you, buddy. I did this for you. Yep.
I got my logger.
Nice lady. Yeah.
This logger came from Florida. They have no Yinglings here.
And this is cherry juice. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, right. I don't believe that for some reason.
I miss my partner in crime.
Miss you too.
And Linda's in California.
Yeah, Linda's in California.
Yep. Hi, guys.
Yeah. Well, let me just spearhead it a little bit. Here, I hate to talk about the coronavirus all the time, but it just seems like that's a subject at hand. Here, everything's a little relaxed. Nobody's quarantined. The beaches are open. We went to the beach this morning and had lunch. There's nobody there, but we went there.
We don't know that it wasn't open. We just went.
Yeah, Ron said the beaches wasn't closed.
Okay.
He said they haven't closed them yet. They may, but they haven't.
How about the restaurants open there?
So yeah, we went to you have to stand outside, that you can't go in. And they have like restaurants with drive up, but this guy has an outside restaurant where you have like a walk up window. And when you go up there, the first thing he tells you is that the police had warned him that we can't congregate in front of his restaurant, you know? So, so
All
there was,
four of you, right?
well, it started out with just four of us, right? But I think the other people saw us standing there. And the next thing you know, another car came.
Yeah, we brought the guy business, but he kept saying they took away my tables. You can't sit down.
Yeah, they took his tables, his outside tables.
Wow.
So anyway, we got what did I get? I got a Philly cheesesteak. And oh my God, it was probably the best Philly cheesesteaks I've ever had in my life.
Yes.
A real Philly cheesesteak?
It was super good.
It was the best.
Super
Evidently, the seagulls liked it too.
Well,
Yes, they did.
Yeah, that's a funny thing because while we were sitting out not actually on the beach, but in a place where I had picnic tables by the beach, I had I had an onion ring, part of an onion ring in my hand. This damn seagull came right over and took it.
And then they all started coming.
They do that. Yeah, theyll do that.
Yeah.
So tell us, Melody and Deb, you guys are in the Villages. Is things going well?
Well, I wish they would shut everything down. Like
Well, what is it shut down?
the beauty shops, the
Oh,
shopping. You can go shopping. You can get your nails done. The
Well, I
restaurants
can't get
are all
nails
shut
done
down.
at Paradise. No.
And they are still sitting at the squares. Of course, not hundreds of people, but there probably were 100 people sitting around.
oh, shit.
Even though the squares are closed, there's no entertainment.
Huh.
But it was really weird driving into Sumter Landing and seeing nobody at the restaurants. You know, because all the restaurants have the outside and they're always full, and they were completely empty. It's just weird.
Question from Sugar in the Raw.
Yeah.
That's what it says, Sugar in the Raw.
Oh,
Our garbage guys refused. Our
Refused.
garbage guys refused to pick up today. Is our trash being picked up in the villages?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's still going. No problem there.
We did.
They're doing landscaping, whatever.
Yeah.
Today was yard trash pickup day, and they picked it up.
now Florida is not officially in lockdown, right? California is
No.
in lockdown, but Florida is not in lockdown.
Yesterday, they just locked down Orange County, and Miami and Broward County were locked down maybe last week or a few days ago, but not the whole state. The governor said he still has 20 counties with no COVID-19.
Wow.
So
They just closed the libraries today here. So the libraries are closed until April 12th. So I could have kept my book and not have to pay my fines. But there you go.
Do you guys know anything about that? April, since mandatory lockdown starts tonight in Orange County and Orlando tomorrow night for Osceola County. Is that right?
Yeah.
What does
Yeah.
that mean, mandatory lockdown? What does that mean?
that means you can't go shopping and you can't get your hair done, or you can go out to the grocery stores. Or,
And keep doctor's appointments, take care of somebody that is in critical condition and needs care, but you can't go out shopping. You can't sit in a square and listen to music. It's just essential only.
I heard dentists were supposed to be closed except for emergencies.
Yep.
Mine is, yep.
Yep.
This probably interests Deb.
In Pennsylvania. Oh, near Hershey. Yay. Have tents to drive up to.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah, we had tents at the polo fields Monday, and I don't know if they're doing it all week or.
I think it's
what?
staying. Yeah, you have to have a note from your doctor, and they actually include something in the newspaper to tell you how to get the note from your doctor. You have to show up with a validation to do it for the drive-through. We were the very first in Florida to have that at the polo fields, and DeSantis was here to open it.
I wasn't paying no attention to you, Deb, like I very seldom ever do anyway.
It's normal.
How do you get that doctor's thing if you want to be checked out?
They have this insert in the paper every single day that tells you the steps to go through to get your certification that you need to go to the drive-up testing sites.
Yeah, that was
It's in
my
the
question.
paper.
How do you get that certification? You probably read this paper, right? You can read?
No, Skip reads it to me. My Skip, not you. Yeah.
But
And they give you all kinds of lines to go on your phones and on your online. Yeah.
That's the score. I've got 4. Deb has 1.
Before taping, I was all over it, but go ahead.
question, you guys, can you see live comments? Because I can't see any live comments. Skip,
Yeah.
are you the only one that can see them?
I
I
can see
saw.
them.
You can see them, Melody, and Deb, you can see them too?
Yeah.
I hear voices too, so don't go by me, but yeah, okay.
I can't see them, so I can't comment. I don't know what's coming up. For some
Yeah,
reason,
I don't know what to tell you, Linda. I'm not on your end. I don't know if you got to poke something.
She
don't
is in California, they do things different out there.
Oh, you're right. I needed to poke. I needed to
Okay.
poke the live comments. I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
You
I'm
see
with
it now? Okay. I don't have to put this up there, but Jean is asking, how is Sue's eye doing since leaving the hospital?
It's a lot better. I still can't see much out of it. That's why I can't help him not to see all the comments, because I can't read.
Well, listen, Sue, you're not missing anything by not seeing him. It's a blessing in disguise.
Sometimes I think so.
That's 2 for me. 2.
I don't know if I'd give you a whole point for that, because that was kind of lame.
Okay, April has a good question, guys. She says, ask Deb about the 14-day self-quarantine from anyone traveling to Florida from New York.
Oh, yeah.
Well, once you get here to Florida in a plane, you have to guarantee that you're going to self-isolate. I have no idea how they're going to control that.
Yeah.
Are they going
Not.
to take so
I'm just asking you to, and they say staying with a family member is not isolating.
Uh,
And they're taking
So-
your temperature when you get off the plane, what I hear.
oh, they are?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's what we heard down here, is that, I don't know about Florida, but anybody
I
from
think
New
they
York,
said that on the news that they are taking people's
taking
temperatures.
temperatures when you come off,
But
right?
what happens if they have a temperature?
They have
They
to
don't-
come home.
Back?
I've not heard. If you got a temperature, I don't know, maybe they put you back on the plane.
April says that, and I think she's around the Orlando area, I'm guessing. It says non-essential businesses are closed down, and you can go to the grocery and pharmacy stores, doctor's offices, $50 fine if they catch you out doing otherwise.
Ah, they find you.
That's not here in the villages.
I don't think so, no.
That could be Orlando.
Because most people in villages has Alzheimer's and they just wander around anyway.
Well, you guys are a little behind us. So we got our lockdown last Thursday. So everything except essential businesses are closed. And there was a big rush to the grocery stores, especially for toilet paper, like everybody knows. I don't know why toilet paper was so popular.
that's going to be the new currency. You're going to pay in sheets of toilet paper.
I know.
If Skip does a giveaway of a roll of toilet paper, we could get 1,000 people in here watching.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I've got a roll of
You should give away toilet paper. You're right.
Well, it ain't gonna happen. Let me put it to you. Because just like everywhere else, the Walmarts here, they have a police officer now that stands in front of the cash registers. There's just one cop. He just kind of walks back and forth because they've got severe limits and they have people there. They've all been instructed. There's a zero tolerance, no matter what the excuse is. I don't agree with it, but I'm just saying it's what it is. Like you're only allowed 1 gallon of milk. Here's my problem with that. There
Yeah.
was a guy at Walmart, this happened a couple of days ago, and I know this because my cousin's wife that's next door, she works there, and she was telling me this story. And they didn't have a gallon pitchers. They were sold out because once you're limited to only 1 gallon, everybody takes a gallon jug. He's got kids at home, so he grabbed 2 half-gallons, and they told him he couldn't have those. You're only allowed 1.
Wow.
And he said, and I said, well, that ain't right. I mean, if you've got kids, he needs a gallon. I mean, you know, but no, they were strict. Another guy, you're only allowed 1 loaf of bread, 1. So he grabbed hot dog buns and a loaf of bread, I guess. And then they told him at the cash register, take one or the other. You can't have both.
Wow.
It's just
Well,
like that.
You know, it's because people are hoarding. I mean, it's because of that, because, you know, they have that rule where they set aside an hour in the morning for senior citizens, which here in the villages is friggin' everybody. So they're allowed to shop from 8 to 9. You're standing in line to get in. When you get in, the shelves are already bare.
Yeah.
How can you stock the shelves all night long, limit supplies, and they be all gone unless people are hoarding?
Yeah.
And they're
Oh,
hoarding.
Not only that, but they're doing out here too. It's, and I don't, this is stupid. It's Walmart, you know, Walmart's full of stupidity anyway. They got senior shopping and it was in a paper from 6 until like 7, 6 in the morning till 7. My first complaint was, do they assume that all old people get up at 4 o'clock in
Yes.
the morning or something?
They do. Sue, what time do you get up in the morning, honey?
5:30.
There you go.
I don't. So, and then I find out from my cousin's wife once again, yeah, they put that in there, but the store doesn't even open till 7. So why? So I said, well, why are they telling us between 6 and 7? They want you to line up out front at the store, so when they get to open the door, you're ready to go.
Yep. Yep.
So these old people are going up there at 6 in the morning with hip problems, knee problems, and whatever, and they're standing for an
In
hour.
line. Yep.
So how many reported cases are there in the villages? Are there any officially in the villages, or are they just in the counties around?
I know of at least 2. One's in
There are-
Hillsborough.
Well, there was 10 in Sumter County. How many did you have in Lake or?
There's 18 in Lake, 13 in Sumter, and 5 in Marion.
And
It's-
those are all in the villages, or just those? They're
We
county.
don't know. I mean, the villages is over these 3 counties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I-
they're not telling you how many of those people are in the hospital, but a few of them are in the hospital.
We are.
I'm sure they are. You know, they set up those emergency hospital tents, for when the hospitals are full and it's overflow, that they got a place that it's like in the army. It'd be like MASH.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bad.
I can tell you one thing though, guys, just looking optimistically. So we went into lockdown last Thursday. By now, if you go to the grocery stores, it's much quieter. You can get in, you can get out. You still have limits on what you can get. You can only get the one bread. You can only get the one water. You can only get one toilet paper. They have the limits, but it's being restocked. And the grocery store people told us there's no problem with their pipeline. Their pipeline is just fine. People are just rushing to get everything, and so things go off the shelves. But if we just get a time to settle down, it'll come back.
Yeah.
Did you see where Lacey said DeSantis is going to test people randomly in the villages because they need to get basis numbers for research?
That's what he said online.
Yeah.
Skip, don't you have a video or something that you
Well, seeing how the first time we tried this and it went to hell in a handbasket. once I deleted that, every video I had saved up here is now gone.
Oh, shoot.
Now, if you guys want to handle, you guys see all the questions?
Yeah.
If you guys want to take over there for a little bit, I'll go look on the channel and I'll see if I can find one or two of them.
We don't know if we'll be back.
If I'm not back, carry on.
Well, I did see DeSantis's talk, and according to him, there were 2,000 tests available this week in the villages. So people were going to sign up on a daily basis. And then he said at the end of that week, he was going to check to see if there were any additional tests. And if so, they would continue. But he said that there were two different groups. They were testing people who had the doctors okay and thought they really may have something and they needed to get that data. But they were also testing people who didn't have any symptoms because they needed to get the baseline, Deb, the kind of thing that you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that sounded great because you guys have, apparently Florida has enough tests that you can do that right now. A lot of other places don't have enough tests. So that's the scary thing. Now, San Diego just announced that one of our biotech companies got approved literally at 2:00 this afternoon by the FDA for a test that they can put out that will give you an answer in 30 minutes. So that's really good. Yeah.
And they're going to get self-testing kits available soon. But God, if they're hoarding toilet paper, they'll hoard those and we'll never get them anyhow. So.
But the self-tests are not ones that go to your home. The self-tests are ones that allow you to use the little, whatever, the little stick thing. Whoa, Skip, you disappeared on us.
Yeah, it's okay.
He brought the news up. This is good.
Number of coronavirus cases continues to climb in Florida. Here are the facts. Right now, there are 1,171 confirmed cases in the state and 14 deaths. There are 123 confirmed cases in Central Florida, ranging from 3 in Flagler to 45 in Orange. Governor Ron DeSantis says that number will continue to go up as more people get tested. Today, another drive-through testing site opened in the Villages. News 6's Lewis Bolden is there with a look at how things are going this evening. Lewis?
Well, they have already wrapped up for the day. The testing is happening under those tents right behind me. Testing is going to happen every day this week from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. And their goal is to collect about 400 samples per day. Now, the governor says he wants to make this process as simple and as fast as possible. People can drive up in their vehicles or their golf carts, since this is the Villages, but you cannot just show up. You have to be screened in advance online. And if you qualify for a test, an appointment will be scheduled for you. The process is quick, one swab in your throat and another in your nose. And people are trying to turn the tests around within 24 hours. Part of the testing here is clinical and part is for research at the University of Florida.
If you do not meet even broad screening criteria to have your sample clinically tested, you can still elect to have your sample tested by a separate UF developed test for COVID. And so that will go into research to be able to determine how prevalent COVID-19 is among asymptomatic individuals.
Again, you cannot just show up here in order to be screened in advance. You have to go to ufhealthcovid.com. Reporting in the Villages, I'm Lewis Bolden, getting results, News 6.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Nice
good.
touch. Yeah.
Now, those numbers were not what they are right now.
Oh, I'm
Those
sure
were
it's
when
not.
that broadcast.
Now there's 1977 in Florida.
Okay.
I just always get excited when a major news company comes to the Villages.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
my Laura Lampy says that there are about 1900 in Illinois and 19 deaths. California has about 3,000 and San Diego has about 10% of those.
And New York is the epicenter now.
Yeah, New York is definitely the epicenter. That's scary. They've got they've got 30,000 or over 30,000, I think.
My brother called me from New York. He lives in Brooklyn. He called me 2 weeks ago and he says, you need to go to the store and stock up on toilet paper and food for at least 2 months. He said, and of course I didn't listen to him. I thought I have enough stuff. Well, I did. But
A lot of us have stuff because we prepare for the hurricanes, right? So we
said
have
the first person that came in went on the subway every single day. You know, for 2 weeks, they don't know. He traveled from overseas. He might have came right from China. And so it started spreading. And he's actually still working and he takes the subway every day. But he says that he watches.
Ew, Subway.
Well, he says he wears a mask and gloves and stuff. And when he gets home, he takes his clothes off and washes them right away and takes a shower before he touches anything in the house.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah.
Let me tell you a little story.
Oh, let me get a drink.
Where's my
So Sue's been laying around for a couple of days. Her eyes swelling up. It's watering. And then, you know, she's not feeling good. And so I just got up and I said, come on, let's go. We're going to the emergency room. So I take her to the emergency room. I already told you guys the story, I think, but the viewers haven't heard. So we go to the emergency room and I go inside and you got to fill out the paperwork. Not a big deal. And then she says, sit down. The doctor will be right with you because they only bring you back one at a time because they keep everybody separated. It's a pretty good sized waiting room. Like maybe 100 seats, big room, not a small room at all. So I said, okay. So we sit down. They come and got her, took her to the back room, and I sat there waiting until she was done. And then this other lady come in. She's dressed to the hilt, gloves, a surgical jacket, a face mask. I mean, germaphobe, right? I shouldn't say that, but that's a germaphobe right there. And she goes up and she's kind of coughing a little bit. And she tells the nurse she's not feeling good. She wants to be tested for the coronavirus. Well, they said a doctor has to see you and then send you in, I guess, somewhere. So she said, here, fill this paperwork out and we'll be right with you as soon as we can. Where does she sit? I give one guess to every one of you. Where do you think she sat with 100 empty seats? Where does she sit?
You looked inviting.
Right
It was
next
your
to me.
animal magnetism drew her in.
I was sitting there playing a game on my cell phone, for God's sake. So I got up and I moved to the other side of the room. Is that rude? Probably, but that's what I did. I just got up and I moved. I didn't say a word.
Too.
And then I didn't realize that I was sitting at the outpatient door. So a lady comes out after the doctor was done with her and she coughed right there in front of me. So I got up again and I moved to way to the other end of the store. Then an old guy come in, really in bad shape. He's leaning on his walker. He couldn't even hardly walk. I normally would help a guy like that, but with the coronavirus and stuff, you don't know what to do. So I just sat there and he comes in and the nurse says, can I help you? And he said, I'm not feeling good. He said, I've been feverish and I'm short of breath really bad. I just got up and went out in my car. I sat in the car waiting for Sue.
Well, how long ago was that?
2 days ago.
See, well,
You need to be 6 feet away from Loma Sue. Get away from her.
That's why I thought you were sick today because your voice sounded funny.
No, I think it's because, well, like I said, this show, all you guys listening, I'm going to apologize for anything that doesn't sound right or anything that doesn't go right because we are spread all over the place. This was a last minute decision I made. I know I always told everybody we're not having a show on March. I sent everybody an email to find out if they could do it or wanted to do it. And they all graciously said that they would, probably because they're bored out of their mind because they don't have nothing else to do. Well, except Linda. She's got a whole mountain to roam around on.
Mountain? I'm not at the mountain. I'm at the beach.
Oh, you have to beach home?
I'm at the beach house, yeah.
Are your beaches closed in California?
Yeah, they are. They're all closed. They weren't this weekend, and everybody ended up at the beach, and they were playing volleyball, and they were doing bicycle rides and everything. So on Monday or Tuesday, they actually started putting barricades up everywhere. So you can't go to the park, you can't go to the beach, you can't. Kids can't play on the playground. There's a tiny little park at the end of our street here, and even that's blocked off. So you can still walk down the sidewalk and get your exercise, but you're also still supposed to stay 6 feet apart from everybody. So.
Well, that leads me to an interesting question for someone like you.
What?
You have a house on the beach.
It's not. No, it's not on the beach. It's not.
Okay, let's assume you know somebody that's got a house on the beach.
Okay.
And they got a house on that beach because it's on the beach.
Uh-huh.
So are those people told that they can't go in their front yard?
There actually are patrols there that are trying to keep people off of the beaches. Now, most of the beaches, though, in California are public access. So even if you have a house on the beach, it's not your beach, it's public access. So one of the things that was on the news today is surfers are still going out there and surfing. And the police are waving their hands and trying to get them to come back. They're ignoring them and going out on the beach. So, yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, Deb, but there's 2 of you here trying to get on.
It cut me out, and I went on, and I'm a mess over here.
What
Let me
cut
try
you out?
this.
You're not cut out.
There you go. Everything went blank for a minute, but I'm
Okay.
fine. I'm listening.
Well, that's this goofy setup we got. She's got Wi-Fi in the mountains, and you guys has got Wi-Fi in the villages. That's not too bad, unless you got Spectrum. It sucks. And
I
I'm out
got
here in the
rabbit
middle of
ears
nowhere.
with aluminum foil, so there you go.
Yeah, okay. I used to watch TV with rabbit ears.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I remember those days. Why?
And we're going to complain about this. Just think about this technology right here.
Yeah.
You know what?
You know?
I put on Facebook, I put a grateful thing that it was a Bitmoji saying grateful, and told people that in these times we have a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah.
One thing is the internet.
Right.
This
Yeah.
Oh, God,
happened
yes.
30, 40 years ago. We would be stuck, especially if we're just in a house by ourselves.
Mhm.
And we can't go out and hang out with that noise.
It's not me.
Not me.
What's going on?
Melody.
That's a noise.
Oh,
All we had back then was the telephone.
Oh, and I'd have to talk to him.
A long time ago.
And now we have the internet and
Yeah.
we have electricity, we have running water,
yeah.
and in a hurricane, we don't always have water or electricity and that type of thing.
Right.
Right. Right.
Oh, we just don't have toilet paper.
Hey, by the way, I want to introduce somebody to you guys.
Uh-oh.
That lady right there
Hi, Dorothy.
is my sister-in-law. I think Deb knows her.
Of
She-
her.
Yeah. She had my house for a month. I'm not even there. And she could have all kinds of fun doing what she could do. As soon as she got down there, they started shutting everything down.
But see, the upside was you weren't there. That's why
it.
she came. Yeah.
That's the only upside to it.
Yep.
Well, the weather. It was like you guys got a hot,
We
It's in the
did.
90s.
yeah. And in Indiana, it's not that good. And she likes hot weather. So she took like 2 or 3 days to drive with her old dog all the way down there just to have the swimming pool shut down. The squares are all shut down. So she went home.
Well, I would like to say that the thing that is still open that we have is our golf courses, and they have put out notices on how to stay safe on the golf course. 1 person to a cart, unless you're a couple. Don't touch the flagpoles. Don't touch the rakes. Now they're putting PCV pipes in the hole, and all you have to do is touch it, and that counts as it going in the hole because they don't want you putting your hands in there. My My cousin in Albuquerque said they closed down all of their golf courses in the state of New Mexico. So we're very fortunate that at least we have our golf courses because we can't go swimming, can't go to the squares, so at least we still have that. Now, Sarasota, they're only letting 2 people in at a time and they lock the door. And when one person leaves, they let another one in. But that's how they're.
You mean inside the store itself?
Yep.
What are they doing? What are they doing about the driving range?
The driving range is open because it's outside.
But
they're trying to spread people apart, 6 feet apart at the driving range.
Oh, so what are they doing? Like you use one spot and they miss a spot and use the next spot.
Yeah.
For driving the bus. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, they got to do something with them old duffers down there because if they get a runny nose, they all die.
Well, in the Fenny area, you can still use all the walking paths and riding paths. And
Yes.
That's where all the young people live. Those people down there are tough. Yeah. You get up around Melody's neighborhood, that's where all the old people are at. That's why in the wintertime we used to play, and this ain't no kidding, we used to go all the way up there to Amberwood and all them places up there because the average age up there is like 80, and those guys don't play golf very often on the executive courses. And so we'd go up there, and executive courses in the middle of winter, man, January and February were pristine. You go down to Sweet Gum and places like that, you guys have been down there in the wintertime. They're a mess.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Oh, is it still that way? If you go to the north, you got a better chance of playing on a better course.
Yeah.
Great.
And we always got our tea time up there too because fewer people go up there.
Yeah. Right now, though, it's very hard to get a tea time because Mallory's closed down because they over-fertilized and killed the course. Some of the other courses are closed down just because they're in bad shape. So because that's the only thing you can do, it's hard to get a decent tea time.
Yeah.
I have to. Have you guys been keeping up with the chat?
No.
I stopped my chat and I haven't been keeping up with it. This dog's driving me nuts. I'm about ready to put her on the
April
ground.
said something interesting. April said the FDA approved the use of blood plasma to treat COVID-19. She says it's on TV right now.
I saw that. That's great.
Blood plasma?
Yeah, plasma would have antibodies of somebody who's had the virus but has gotten over it. That's what they're talking about.
Oh.
Treated with the antibody.
Healthy Home Cooking says crappy currency.
Toilet paper.
The
You guys
toilet paper.
didn't get it, did you?
I got it.
Lacey says I need more paper towels than toilet paper for washing my hands all day. And Laura says TP is like gold.
You can get TP delivered with your meal if you order from the Chop House and 2 other restaurants. They're delivering, and with your meal, you also get a roll of toilet paper.
Who's doing that?
The Chop House for one, and my mom said 2 other restaurants. I can't. Bluefin, I think.
Probably that's owned by the same person.
They're actually, if you order food, they'll deliver it to your house for free and give you a roll of toilet paper.
I don't know if the delivery's free or not. I'm not sure.
There you go.
But I know you get free toilet
Bring it
paper.
over, Dad. It said food delivered to your door, but it doesn't say free.
And it doesn't say toilet paper, but
that's the Chop House and stuff like that. Yeah. Special $10, free delivery. Doesn't say anything about toilet paper. I would go for the wine because they will also give you you can order a bottle of wine or get your drinks in a to-go cup.
hey guys, Mr. Cheeses said he wanted to, I just lost it. He wanted to come to the Villages in May, but he's thinking about waiting until October. What do you think? Is that a good idea?
I would wait until this is gone.
Absolutely.
Because, if you're elderly, white, I make fun of it. Don't get me wrong. I've gotten so much hate mail this week because of the videos I put out saying, I don't think it's serious. You all run. And to be honest with you, still tell you, I do take precautions.
Yeah.
If I see somebody coming, sneezing and hacking, and it ain't because of the coronavirus. I've always been that way from being an over-the-road trucker. I don't touch push open doors. I don't grab doorknobs at restrooms if I have to. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world to have a doorknob where you got to open the door in to get out.
And tell them all the food you won't eat.
And there's certain food, I won't eat raw food. I love Japanese food that I thought was Japanese, but I think that's just Chinese food. I'm not sure what it is. Matter of fact, I have some. We got some today right up there. But what was I talking about?
I wouldn't come here. I wouldn't travel to the villages until everything's safe, because
No.
once you get here, there's nothing to do anyhow. So.
People enjoy any of the amenities,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
and that's the whole idea, coming there to see the amenities, look at the new houses. He's been there many times. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but the lifestyle is just so different during this, and none of us knows what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Thomas is asking, Skip, has the wind stopped blowing and the sun come out? Well, believe it or not, today the sun did come out. I think it got up to 90 today. The wind has never stopped blowing.
It was nice this morning, but it's back up again. That's why we're not outside doing this
Yeah.
broadcast.
This is the windiest place I've ever been in my life. It's just windy every day. That's how she ended up getting that stuff in her eye. A
And
gust of
then they
wind.
say this isn't normal, but it's been that way ever since we've been here.
Every
It
second.
was windy today. It was windy and cooler today, but it's going to go up into the 90s.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was 90 today here.
61 here.
I didn't notice the temperature, but
Well, you're in the mountain.
she's at the beach.
Oh, that's right. She said that.
Yep. 61.
You know, I would like to say though, the people that are holding us together, the truck drivers,
Yes.
the people at the checkout counters, the doctors and the nurses that are spending their time while their families are at home, worried about them, taking care of everybody.
Absolutely.
That's unbelievable.
And
They
the
don't
postal
get the accolades
workers
they should.
and UPS and FedEx.
Yes, they just don't get the accolades that they
I
should.
just got done talking to a friend of mine and he sent me some pictures. He works for UPS Freight. That's who I work for. And there was 6 trucks. All of them were carrying pups. So there's
People don't know what pups are.
pups are when you got 2 trailers, one behind the other.
I
So
thought
there
they
were
were dogs.
There was a total of 12 trailers, and they were all loaded with medical supplies going out somewhere. And they said they got priority on all medical supplies, things like that now to go out. So,
Yeah.
they're doing what they can do.
Yep.
But sometimes people will say, well, how's come they're not getting bread? Listen, not every trucking company hauls food, and bread is a food. It's a perishable. It's in freight talk, it's a perishable. And a lot of perishables by DOT law has to be refrigerated at a certain temperature if it goes over X amount of miles to make sure mold and stuff doesn't get in.
Mhm.
UPS doesn't have any refrigerated trailers, so they just don't do it.
Okay.
Now you know.
No.
We are so much smarter now. Thank you very much. I did not know bread was a perishable. That would explain the mold.
Somebody else is asking about their build appointment in June in DeLuna, and I wanted to share something. We just had our inspection done for the house. You have that 1 year period of time, and then you do your inspection and let the villages know what issues you have. And they actually told me that they're putting that on hold for the next month. So they're not doing any warranty repairs. So the person, I can't see the name, but the person that's asking about the build appointment in DeLuna probably should check with the villages. They may be pushing those things off for a while.
Yes.
I thought I read something somewhere where they were doing that. They were offering people with lifestyle visits a complete refund or a complete reschedule. There was a list of some stuff that they were doing. Whose dog is barking?
That's KT, isn't it?
No, that's not Katie this time.
Whose dog is barking?
It's Miss Jasmine.
I know whose it is.
Oops.
It's California dogs.
I put them in the back room. You're not supposed to be able to hear them.
It's something about Skip's voice. I don't know what it is, but dogs hear him.
They recognize authority. William Rizzo says they got 4 confirmed cases now in the Florida Keys.
It's just everywhere. It's just everywhere.
Well, there's a lot of tourists that goes down there.
Yeah. Well, and you guys had a lot of those spring breakers on your beaches in Florida.
They sent them out. They chased them out of here.
They
Oh,
sent
it's
them home.
your area.
Yeah, I don't know. They did not close the beaches down, but they done something because one day the beaches were packed full. The next day they were all gone.
Well, now they weren't on the north end though. I said it.
Right up there where we just had lunch. That beach was full the other day.
Yeah.
Today, what was it?
Yeah, it was pretty empty. Yeah.
Other than local, those few locals there, that was it.
But we went out to the National Seashore It's North Padre, and you could count the people along the beach, and he actually had to fly his drone to see how far away the other people were, because we weren't really sure. You could see a camper down there, because they do have a lot of boondocking on the beaches here in the sand, but they were few and far between.
Mark Mendelson, I think we answered this, but I forget the answer, wants to know how many reported cases are in the villages. And I don't think we really know, do we? Then we decided that we know of at least one that's in Hillsborough, because that was in the paper.
They're talking about, they're telling you what's in the county. They're not giving you specifics.
No, there was
anymore.
an article in the paper that said, why do people doubt me? Why do they doubt me?
Well, I could give you 100 reasons, but we don't have enough time. But
By laws, they cannot put it in there.
They didn't got give names. They just said that there was a person that went to the Leesburg Hospital with the symptoms, and it was confirmed that he had the coronavirus and that he lived in the village of Hillsborough. That's all it said. But
And that's
technically,
where Skip lives, for those that don't know.
technically there was 2 Hillsboroughs. I don't know if people know that or not. Yeah, Hillsborough, the good Hillsborough. That's where
Are
we
you
live.
sure they weren't talking about Hillsborough County?
I think so.
It said the villages of Hillsborough.
Oh,
You can find that article in thevillagesnews.com.
Okay.
there.
I defy any of you. I defy any of you to prove me wrong.
And the way
but just what they're doing though is they're just saying in Sumter County this is this many, and the villages is 3 counties,
I
and
think
that's
they-
what we're
I think they
hearing.
were- I think
And
they were
I'm thinking
talking
the
about.
numbers just went up. I see Lake County 22. Is that what I said before? And Sumter has 18, and Marion is still 5.
Wow.
Them numbers are all over the place. I don't even know what's right.
Yeah.
If you listen to one channel, they'll tell you one thing. You listen to another channel, it tells you another thing. A friend of mine's got an app. There's an app you can get now. It keeps you updated on all the coronaviruses all over the United States.
And the Sumter County Sheriff has that also. They have an alert thing that will tell you when there's another person in the county that comes up with the virus. I don't know if I want to mess with that. It could get really scary. But I did see that on there. Somebody had posted it on Facebook, I think.
And just looking at this comment right now, Skip, when he was at the grocery store shopping, kind of saw something like that somebody got items stole out of her cart while she was shopping.
Oh, I don't doubt it. But I got a picture this morning from my neighbor that went to Publix, and it was 6:45 in the morning. And she showed a picture of the people standing outside, lining the sidewalk because they had to stay like 10 foot away from each other. There was 40 people in front of her to get into the store.
No, but they're stealing stuff out of people's shopping carts.
Yeah. So I wouldn't, be at all surprised. People they do crazy things.
Well,
Brooke says-
they're afraid, so they panic.
Brooke says at midnight last night, they started a 2-week shutdown in Indiana. I don't know what that means. Shutdown.
That means you can't get back in there for quite a while.
And you have to stay home unless you're an essential worker.
Yeah,
Why? Did they put the National Guard at the Indiana border?
it's
They've
probably
done that for a lot of states now.
yeah.
I think a third of the country is.
I don't know what a shutdown means. That's not martial law, so I don't know what that means. Shutdown.
It means different areas. Yeah.
Brooks will send us another note, letting us know exactly what that means. Shutdown. Does that mean like at 8:00 at night, all the stores are going to shut down? Or does that mean all stores have to be shut down,
You
period?
have to be shut down unless they're
Yeah.
essential.
Now, I know the restaurants were all shutting down unless you had a drive-up window or curb service, right?
Yeah, and that's still available everywhere, I think. But you know what? I'm worried about that. I don't know that.
No. All your Codys had curb service, and they stopped it and you shut them all down.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I'm afraid to eat from the restaurants.
Yes.
Why?
Because how do you know the worker doesn't have it? And they could be healthy and have it, and they don't know they have it.
Well, because you always eat hot food over a certain temperature, all germs are killed.
But you don't know how many people's handled that food before you got it at the carryout. There's just a lot of variables there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you sit down at a table, and put your hands on a table, how do you know that table was even cleaned right?
Yeah.
How many times have you been in a restaurant where the guy that comes over and cleans off your table with the dirty dishes, and he has this dirty pan with him, and there's a dish rag in that pan, and he wipes the table off with that dirty, nasty dish rag that's in that pan, and all this time, you've never said nothing.
Hey, Sue, is that a dry cough?
Yeah, that was a dry cough.
Well,
Oh my God, he's talking again.
a nurse in my neighborhood said, you know, about restaurants, even if you're outdoors, you think it's safer to eat outdoors, they might wipe the table off. They don't wipe the backs of the chairs off that you reach in to pull out. They don't wipe off the salt and pepper shaker, the ketchup and all that. So there's so many surfaces that they're not cleaning. They can't clean. So don't go to the restaurants.
Money. Think about the money.
Good recommendation. Eat at
Where it
home.
goes, who handles it? That's, you know, that's scary. Even
Yeah.
your credit card. Do you disinfect it before you put it back in your purse? I do.
You know what? My groomer comes to the house, and I hadn't heard from her. Well, she just showed up yesterday, and Kobe really needed it done. So I said, yeah, go ahead. And I pay her with a credit card. So I gave her the credit card and she gave it back. And I like ran to the sink, washed my hands and my credit card in my hands and washed it all.
Yeah. Well, you know, those, Deb, when we went to the Hurricane Expo, you know, those little Walgreen sprays that we got?
Yeah.
I mean, they really come in handy. But I did hear a lady say that the ones you get at some places don't have enough alcohol. They have to have at least 60% alcohol for them to be effective. And I looked, and these are 62, so we're good.
Oh, I used that one up a long time ago, but yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah,
good. It was good.
terrible.
That's
But
because you're
the,
a hoarder.
Yeah, I'm a hoarder. But there was a lady that said that she got one from the bed and bath store. And there was a smelly kind, you know, it had the perfume and everything. And it did have alcohol in it, but it only had like 2% alcohol. But she was using it as disinfectant.
It
And it
does.
just was not, you know,
Yeah.
not feasible to use it for that.
Yeah. They
Did
say
you just see that last post? They're talking about lockdown here.
Yeah, but I don't know what lockdown means. Lockdown can mean half a dozen things,
Okay.
you know.
Now, Skip, it really is. It's different per each area. You got to look at the specifics on each area. But generally, what it means is they're taking everything back down to the essential businesses only. So food, doctors, gas stations, those kinds of things. But other than
I
that,
think right in the house.
I think Nevada was the first state to do that. They locked down for 30 days.
They got to let you go out and buy stuff because they can't starve you to death. You got to eat.
No, the grocery
That's
stores
the
are open.
grocery stores are open. Yeah, California was officially the first.
Here's what I think. Here's one thing they could do if things get really bad, is that you're not going to go anywhere without calling first and getting a time to be there. That way they can limit how many people's going in that store.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that'll ever happen.
Some stores, they make you stand outside, and as people come in, you get to go in. Or
Yeah.
come out, you get to go in.
I don't go to
told me-
the grocery stores, but Skip does, and they have a tape on the floor at the checkout, so
Walgreens
you're
does.
standing 6
Yes.
feet apart from each other.
Somebody told me that the doctors and prescription people were doing that. That they fill your prescription, tell you to stay in your car, and
Super
they would call you. I ain't got no sound effects, dude. I don't have any.
We'll do the sticker dance.
Yeah, we'll do the sticker
We got
dance,
Stickers.
but we don't have any songs. But who said that? I see it now. Who said
Todd,
that?
winner of one of our
Oh, Todd Johnson. Yeah, he's
Oh, God.
he's a big supporter. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it so much. I really do.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah.
Well, it's something I seen last night on the news, and it never occurred to me. But you know, we are in Texas, you know, and but this lady was complaining because something about and it was about New Jersey, believe it or not. But they said that the guy
No
that owned the
argument there.
gun store said that they stopped him from giving people the guns that they'd bought because there's some kind of waiting period. I know nothing about guns, but there's some kind of waiting period, and they'd stopped him from giving people the guns that they'd bought. And the lady said, well, how many people bought guns? And he said, they bought him out. He said, when this started, people come in buying guns, and they said, didn't even care what they were. They asked, I want that one, I want that one. And he said he had no guns left, no ammunition, but he couldn't give them to people because of some kind of law that they put out. And I thought about that and I thought, that's scary.
They're serious about protecting their toilet paper.
Evidently, yeah, that's scary. And I know, that happens in the movies, but
Healthy Home Cooking says, I went in at 6:45 a.m. I saw the sign that 6 to 7 was for seniors. They looked at me and told me to come in. I am only in my 50s. I was kind of offended. You're only in your 50s?
but I went in anyway.
You're only in your 50s?
Welcome to the club.
Wow. You should start eating better.
You can get into that later. Yeah.
I used to love it when they would card me to see if I was old enough for alcohol. I mean, thank you. You made my day. Yeah.
I've never been carded.
Oh, yes, she has. Indiana, that's a law up there. They got to card everybody no matter what.
And I love it.
Do you?
Hey guys,
Mr. Cheese says, sorry I'm late. It's
What's the
fine.
matter, Linda?
when you go to the gas station, are they giving you gloves?
Here?
No.
Walmart bags.
Because they're doing it in California.
Are they?
They have gloves, yeah. Because they say that's one of the dirtiest places when you go get gas and you put gas in
Yeah.
the car.
All
So
truckers know that. All truckers carry a pair of gloves right underneath the driver's seat. All truckers. And let me just say, for those of you out there, whenever you go to a gas station to buy gas, that's a big long line of pumps, don't shut your car door and walk inside and leave your car at the pump, blocking it for everybody else. Move it to the front line.
And that commentary,
People pay at the thing.
Just saying.
Oh no. Elsa,
You guys
was that a public service announcement there, Skip?
Yes.
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 Moving on.
Because in Texas, everybody carries a gun. You could get shot.
did you see that Elsa says that people are trying to return the toilet paper that they hoarded?
Oh,
Oh, they've got signs on every store down here saying that no toilet paper, no hand sanitizer, no cleaning stuff. There's all a list of stuff that says will not be returnable.
right.
And especially if it's used.
Oh,
I said, I've still got a roll of Trump toilet paper.
that was brilliant.
Hey, Skip, did you see where your son said, Dad, you may have just started The View on YouTube? Your son, Simon, said that.
Oh,
Simon
the
says.
View.
The View.
That's smart,
I
kiddo.
don't know where he's at. I don't see him on here. Or you know what? I bet I'm on Top Chat, not Live Chat. How do I change that?
Is this really
There's a
now?
button.
I don't have all my stuff.
Oh, okay.
There-
You've
yeah.
been missing your stuff for a very long
Are you on Live Chat or Top Chat, Melody?
Well, if I go straight to YouTube, I can change it to live chat.
Yeah, it's right there.
Well, I thought there was a way of changing it here because I did it before. I thought.
You-
Maybe I did.
I had to poke. You said to poke it. So I poked and I got live.
What'd you poke?
She clicked on the live comment.
There it says private chat, live comments. So I touched live. comment. Did it work?
I don't have that.
You don't?
We've been through this before.
Chat. No, I don't have this. Wait a minute, it's not there.
Well, you couldn't find us, Deb.
Remember,
Is
Yeah.
it Simon Smith?
That's it.
Simon Smith.
He says, LOL, such a dork. LOL, we are watching on TV.
Right there.
I'm on
Oh, I
TV.
see. Yeah. We're on TV.
I watch YouTube on my TV a lot. At
Yeah,
night.
it's much better.
Yeah.
Is that proper
So-
language? Much better.
Can I answer Forex?
Much
For you,
better.
that's good grammar.
Forex, I'm in San Diego. Forex Frank. He's asking where I am. I'm in San Diego, California.
Okay.
Is that where all the illegals are at?
I'm not associated with that comment.
I know,
in there.
I know. I'm so politically correct.
Just the comments below.
Yeah.
We said
I'll read
no.
you know, after these shows are over, after they're
Yeah.
over, I don't know what you guys do because I can't see a lot of stuff here. I go back on YouTube, not the streamware here. I go back and watch it on YouTube so I can read all the comments. I read every one of them.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You can read?
Hey, there you go. That makes what, 3?
I can't count that high. I've got you all over you tonight, buddy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Is there any more questions and answers we can help people with?
So I have a question for Forex. He says he and his wife are from Torrance and Long Beach, California. But are you right now in Florida, Forex, or are you still in California? Oh, he says you live in Georgia now. Oh, okay. I thought you were a villager.
Healthy Home Cooking says that I like being on TV because everything I got looks bigger.
Oh, I'm going to refrain from what I was thinking. I'm not going to say it out loud.
And they love how we gang up on Skip.
God, it never ends. It ain't just a show.
Free entertainment. Oh my
When
God.
Deb comes to the house, it starts when she steps through the door.
Yeah, sure. Oh, good fortune. Planning on moving to the village is great. Hopefully it'll be after the virus and we'll be able to meet you in person.
Oh, yes, yes.
Laura Lamp wants to know, and this is a good question, wants to know if a lot of snowbirds has left the villages early.
I had that question too.
Yeah, you can
I
tell.
know one has people that live across the street from my mom and dad. They did. Their kids were worried about them, and everything's closed, so they went home.
Our
So-
neighbors next door rent their house out to a couple from Ohio. They left 2 weeks early. Our friends from Pennsylvania left a week and a half early because they were all concerned about what the conditions on the road would be, but they didn't know if they were going to have rest stops or hotels or anything.
Yeah.
So they left early. The traffic here, oh my God, the traffic is so little. It's unbelievable. You can tell they've left.
That was my next question is how's the traffic? You know,
It's,
Oh, it's great.
it
Oh.
is.
I shouldn't have too much trouble then flying home.
Well, you can't fly into Florida, you know.
Fine.
No, I fly on the road. I fly. I can get behind the wheel. I mean, I haul ass.
Not
And
saying anything.
Somebody said that I
Thank-
can't go to Las Vegas, but in my head, I'm still going.
Hey
You
guys,
still going?
It won't. Nevada shut it down for 30 days, but my reservations are 8 days after that. So we'll just have to see.
Wait and see.
I
I
hope
seen a
it'll
picture
be
of that.
better than
It
that.
was, I seen a picture of Vegas and it was kind of deserted.
Yeah, it's closed. All the casino, they're not even allowed to have casino games in the airports. Like the airport's still open, I think, but they're not even allowed to have any gaming anywhere because they also have them in the grocery stores there. They have them everywhere.
I'm in the
I
restaurant.
bet you could go to a Indian casino on a reservation. I think they're still open because they're not under state law on a
Oh.
reservation. I don't know why I would know that, but
They said you have to shut all the machines down, but the reservation is
So,
different.
so
Huh?
is
What?
that church going to be open when you get there?
I am not getting married.
Yes, you are. You know you are. She didn't want nobody to know.
I don't even have a boyfriend.
Well,
you showed us a picture of him earlier.
And I know what you're going to say next. Don't say it.
This guy.
He's there.
there it is. Right there. There he is. Right there. That's her man. She's marrying that guy.
I'm not. I would never marry him.
he looks a little
I am
stiff to
obsessed
me.
with him. I'm obsessed with him as a friend. Like
So
I
it's a
have
one-night
no
stand?
romantic thoughts of him. I've actually dreamt about him
Have
as
you?
a friend. Like
What kind of dream was it? What kind of dream was it? What kind of dream was it?
As a friend?
we were hanging out with him and other people that work at Tesla. Like I was, I don't know. It was weird.
Oh, now you're making that up.
No, I'm serious. He's just a friend. I would never want to be married to him.
And then who is this?
We all say that about our spouses, but you know, we get over it. Honey, you just lost one of your moderators because she's on overtime now.
I saw
Oh, sorry. Where's her old man? He can take over.
Hey, Steve Tuggle made it home in 14 hours.
Yes,
Tuggle.
sir. Yeah. And Dorothy made the same trip and it took her 3 days.
But she got there.
She
Just
got a
saying.
dog.
Yeah, she took her doggy and she got there.
Skip, there was an earlier question about whether they're going to build condos in the villages. You wanna answer that?
No, the only report that I know about condos. It's just outside the villages in Lady Lake. They got an approval from some contractor. Some projects he's got there along 441 and 27. He's building some other stuff. And along with that, I think actually it was an apartment building. And some of the apartments in that building has been designated condos. And that's the only condos that I know of. And it's not in the villages. Now,
They're just outside.
yeah. But I personally think that Villages is kind of missing the mark there. I think there's a call for some condos in the Villages and they could, profit on that.
Well, they're smart business people. You don't know what they have planned in the future. Just they have
I don't. They didn't buy all that land for nothing.
exactly. They don't always.
Apartments
I mean, it'll probably be a couple more years that Linda and them down there may have a second restaurant.
and a shopping center with a grocery store.
Maybe,
Yay!
maybe even a gas station.
Maybe.
Things are looking up.
We'll be living the life then.
They'll have to have another golf cart store down there somewhere.
They've already announced that one. That's going to be where the Publix is.
Where's the,
Yeah, that's coming right along, isn't it?
it's not?
No.
Magnolia.
Well, I thought when we left that they announced they were starting to work on Magnolia Plaza again.
Yeah,
No.
well, they got the driveway paved.
We're waiting for the final approvals to build.
Well, yeah, they were waiting for
The
the
fire
inspection on
Fire marshal. Yeah.
the electrical or something, but they haven't done that yet.
Not when I left, but they have announced, Skip, that they did announce that the first store that's going to be there is the golf cart store. They've actually signed a lease.
When
And
did
you know
you
what,
leave?
Skip? They stopped. It looked like they stopped building the Publix in the Finney area and devoted everything to the new one over here in the Lowe's on 466A. That thing is huge and it's almost done.
Ah, okay.
It went by fast, and it's like they stopped construction down there and did everything up there.
I think somebody was having a hissy fit.
Yeah. Ken Holmes says, it's Ken Holmes, no. James Ware says the housing market is going to tank because of the COVID-19.
All over the world? All over the world?
I
Or
don't
just
think
the,
so.
I don't
Because
think so.
our housing market where we're at is kind of unique.
Mhm.
When we had that housing thing the last time, and I'm not a fortune teller by any means, or I'd have invested a ton of money in the stock market, and I wouldn't be talking to these ladies right now. They'd be working for me.
don't get us started, okay?
But
But
when the housing market tanked before, the Villages house sales may have slowed a little bit, but I didn't see no special deals. They were still building homes. The people were still working every day, and houses were being sold every day. So,
They maintain their value. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think 2008, 2009, where most places got hit pretty hard.
I don't know anybody that's ever bought a house in the Villages to this day anyway, that hasn't done something kinky, like one of them reverse mortgages. I think those are kinky. I wouldn't do it. But anyway, that hasn't bought a house in the Villages that lost money. Melody, have you made money since you bought your house? I'm not asking how much, just have you made money?
Yeah, it's worth $50,000 more than it was when I bought it 3 years
I
ago.
know Deb's made money. There's no doubt in my mind. And Linda, if she hasn't made any yet, give her a couple more years. She'll make, fast 50. You just do. I got no answer to that.
because it's a retirement destination instead of just somebody's neighborhood. And that's the
Yeah.
difference. That's why the housing people want to come here.
Yeah.
They may not want to go to Akron, Ohio, but they want to come here. So that's the
Yeah,
difference.
and that's why as soon as I heard about it, I looked it up online because my parents came down here to visit some friends that had moved down here, and they were telling me about it. And I looked it up. I'm like, I want to live there, and I was in my early 40s or late 30s.
Oh, I didn't see it.
This is Jimmy says, I'm here to balance the estrogen. It's the only thing Deb scares me.
I'm sorry, not.
Hey guys, I have a correction too on the condo question. Diane is mentioning the condos up in Spanish Springs, and she's right. There are some
Oh, yeah.
condos there. Yeah, there are.
I forgot.
A long time ago. They were built a long time ago.
Those technically are not condos.
But, and it's a name thing. you call it what?
Townhouses.
When you ride the trolley, they call them condos.
Yeah, they do.
That's
Yeah.
how I found out about them.
Every condo I've ever been, there's always an agreement where you as the owner, you maintain the inside of the house. And the condo building owner maintains everything outside the house, like mows the grass for you, blah, blah, blah. Those things up in Spanish Springs aren't that way. They're like townhouses. You buy them, you own them.
What are those townhouses by Glenview that we looked at, Aloma, where they were townhouses, right? Because they had and
Yeah.
that's what they called them.
Yeah. But like, it's all a matter of the wording. And I don't know the difference between them. I'm not a realtor. But I do know that I've never seen those advertised.
I can tell you the difference between them if you want to know, from a legal perspective.
Oh,
What did you
okay.
say, Linda? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to you.
Legally speaking, in a condominium, you actually own only the air inside of the facility. You own from the paint inward. In a townhome, you actually own the structure. But the commonality is that there's usually a lot of commonly owned space that you share together with others. So there is a legal difference between a condominium and a townhome.
Excuse me, Linda, but only somebody from California would say, you legally only own the air from paint to paint. Seriously.
Can you own air?
Yes, James, I would be very leery.
And I love you, but I just had to say that.
It would be a California thing to say and a California lawyer's thing to say. So sorry, guys.
Well, in a lot of states where there's a lot of oil, you may own the property and you may own the house sitting on that property, but you don't own any of the mineral rights under that property.
That's
What kind of
true.
rights?
That's another
What kind
legal distinction.
of rights were those? Mineral?
Mineral rights.
Yeah.
Diane Sanders says,
Water.
Yeah. What's up with that?
what?
Go ahead, say something. What's up with that? I
What are
dare
we
you.
I don't want to scare anybody. So
Yep.
In high school, they used to call me the enforcer.
Uh-oh. What did you enforce?
No, nothing. I just made that up.
bad manners and rudeness.
Cause.
Actually, in the yearbook, they did under my picture when they printed a yearbook, because I got in so much trouble in high school that I don't even know who prints the yearbook or who, but underneath my picture, they printed underneath of it, rebel without a cause.
Yeah, you still are causeless.
Yeah.
My husband Skip just came home, and I'd like to spend some quality time with him if we're done here. Or you
Are you
want to
done?
just cut me out of the studio? I think I'm scaring people, so I better leave.
Say bye to your fans, and I'll kick you out.
Bye, Pick.
See you later,
Bye,
Pip.
Deb.
Hey, girls, you take care.
We'll see you soon. Be safe.
See you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
She's gone.
I want to answer this question.
I know why she had to go. Had nothing to do with her husband whatsoever. I guarantee you, look on your thing there. Is Jeopardy about to start?
It started. Yep, it started a while ago.
Yeah. She's always complaining about how when we do a live thing on Wednesday, that it cuts into her Jeopardy. And seeing as how this one here is kind of a off the wall kind of thing, nothing was really planned.
Right.
So I told her from the very beginning, for those of you watching don't know, we always have before the show a little talk about what to do, who needs to go, whatever. And I told him, I said, anytime you got to go, just say something, you can go. It's not a big thing. This is just a little information thing. We've been on the air now for what, an hour and 13 minutes. So, if everybody has said what they need to say and nobody's got any more questions or anything like that, then we'll just call it a day.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm
Why?
trying to answer this question.
What question? I'm looking. I don't even see one.
I
Diane
don't-
Sanders says, is that a nice craft room in your background, Melody? Have I seen you on another YouTube site?
And you had the picture and it's gone.
I can get it. Hold on, Melody. I'm going to get a picture of your house.
Well, I do have my own YouTube channel. I have 172,000 subscribers.
That's right. She said it right. 172,000. She knows her business.
Most of them subscribers he got, though, his family.
I don't have that big of a
Gotta see
family.
this house. I mean, for a crafter, it's a dream. It's a dream house for a crafter. It really is.
There it is.
The whole house is a
He has the old video from 3 years ago. I'm going to do a new craft room tour video
Okay.
Now I
because
gotta
this
look
thing
there.
isn't even in that one.
Yeah, hold on. I want to share it. I got it. I got it. I got to get it up here. I got it. I got it. I swear I do. Birds.
Alexa, turn on the
She hasn't got any birds.
I've not done any vinyl with the heat.
Oh,
press
that's your
yet,
video
but
talking. I thought that was
I'll
somebody.
iron on vinyl.
Never mind.
Yeah, mute the video. Yeah,
Oh.
that's old.
There we go.
So old.
But the thing was, is how the
I
whole
think
house,
that's it.
the whole house is a studio.
It is.
Yeah.
It's organized so well.
Wow.
I need you to organize the motorhome, Melody.
Well, I had
I
some
love
help
Florida
from my
so far, but I
assistant.
can't wait till winter.
Definitely in the
It's
video.
hot and humid,
The video.
but I just stay inside most of the time. But in the winter, I can't wait because I can have those doors open.
Ah,
When I first moved in, I could have them open a little bit, and it was so nice to
Oh,
have the
yeah.
outside air in here. It was like I was working outside.
no, that would be so nice.
That was a live video.
Yeah. But I think people like live videos when you
You
walk
can use
around.
washi tape for
and you do
many
the walk and
things to
talks, you
decorate
know?
absolutely
Yeah,
anything.
and I answer questions.
Use it
all
on
the time.
cards.
Would it be better if I cut,
Here are all my Cricut pens.
I want to cut her talking.
Yeah, click
I have
that.
them right behind
So-
the Cricut.
I
Yeah.
hate to hear myself.
Well, I mean, but then you can kind of guide us through this.
Yeah. It's so different. Now I'm sitting on the other table. Like, see the table with between the windows? That's where I'm sitting now.
Ah, okay.
And some of those machines are in my master bathroom on those ovens because I didn't have room for it. So this is my master bedroom.
Well, it does look like somebody lives there.
Yeah.
Every
it's
once in a while.
I decorated my TV with zebra. I don't have that TV anymore.
Have you got cats or dogs?
Dog. Oh, and that's my old. I don't even have those countertops anymore, or the stove refrigerator.
But
This is-
I'm just in awe. I have never seen anything so organized.
Let me ask you a question, Melody. I mean, I know there's a lot of setup involved. You probably set things up a day ahead of time, but with all that crap hanging around, how do you remember what you want and where it's at?
Oh, that's easy.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Not everything. Sometimes I'm pulling open drawers. Takes
As small as our camper is, and my bathroom is even smaller. I mean, really small. I dropped something in the bathroom 3 weeks ago. We can't find it.
I know he dropped it down the toilet. It has to be.
It had to go down the toilet, but I don't remember flushing it. Didn't flush it down the toilet. It's just amazing to me is how much stuff you can lose in a little camper.
Lynn is telling me I could use my 360 camera to do a new video, and that I plan on it.
Oh, yeah. We'd really love to see the update.
Yeah.
We'll just have house envy, but
Oh well.
Now I have a question for you in the villages. Have you ever seen another house with French doors like that? All I see
Yeah.
are sliding glass doors. I've never seen a house with French doors.
I don't know how yours was done, but I saw a guy that's what he done. He took the sliding doors out and had French doors put in.
Okay. Mine just came this way. And because when I was looking for a house, I was looking for a house that had lots of wall room. As you can see, I needed a lot of room on the walls. And so that's one reason I chose this house, is because it didn't have the 3 or 4 slides of sliding glass doors there, and I had more wall space.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes finding that exact perfect house that's going to do everything you want. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard.
And I'm grateful. I think I found it for me.
The house we've got is not the perfect house for us. I mean, it's got a couple things that, we'd like to have. We just don't have. But it is what it is. You just do what you do. And I'm not a home decorator either. So I know a lot of people, they get a house that's maybe not exactly what they want, but because of the way they decorate it or things that they do, it works out. Me, I have a room.
I wish I had a golf cart garage.
That's one thing I wish I had. I don't have. I don't have a golf cart garage.
Yeah. My dog does
Question is-
not use the doggy
Becky-
door in the Lanai.
Becky Hamby wants to know, does your doggy use that doggy door in the lanai?
No. That was the people that lived there before me. Theirs did.
Oh, somebody said the Indian casinos in North Carolina are closed.
Yeah. Somebody said something up here, did it say grumpy? I don't know what that means. If you're talking about my email, it's G1RUMP2Y. And yes, grumpy used to be my CB handle when I worked at UPS.
Imagine that.
This video.
Thomas
Those little shelves I'm showing so close were cardboard, and they came in to hold my paper racks on the corners so they wouldn't, they would protect the corners of my paper racks. They're just cardboard, and we're unpacking those, and my dad was going to throw those away. I'm like, no, I have a use for those. So I spray painted them and put them up and put my glitter on them. My glitter is no longer on them anymore. They're gone. Now I have a TV there.
So I want everybody to know before we get off of here too, because I got a feeling we're almost done, that next month, the WNL Wednesday Night Live will be the 4th Wednesday, not the last Wednesday, because of Melody.
She's going to Vegas to get
I get to go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, she's going to Las Vegas to get married. So the wedding plans are set, and she can't change them.
She's
So,
gonna start rumors. I'm not getting married, and I don't even care if the casinos are open as long as I can stay in the room I have, and I just want to stay there and just have it.
have you called to ask?
Well, no, they're closed right now.
It may be permanently closed, because I saw on TV a while ago where unless you were an overseas person or you were somebody waiting for a plane flight, everybody else had to get out of the hotels.
Yeah.
Something that
For
she
30 days, but I'm going there 8 days after that's over. If it's over.
They might extend that.
If
I
it's
keep
over.
calling.
I think I'd call them before you go all the
Oh,
way
yeah,
out.
I will.
Do you have enough electricity to get out there?
Yeah, there's charging stations all along the United States.
How do you find them?
Your car finds them.
Yeah,
It tells you
Melanie has a Tesla.
where to charge, how long to charge, how many miles you'll have until your next charge, or how many hours or whatever. And if your car happens to be running low, like if you're, I don't know, it's never happened to me, but if you are low on electricity before your next one, it'll like say drive under 55 miles an hour to get to your next destination.
James Ware, Deb's not here right now, but she said getting tea times is actually harder now than it was before because that's all there is left to do. And they're starting to space people out. Instead, they don't want 2 people per cart anymore. They want 1 person per cart. And so they're spacing you out so you can't get bunched up and all that kind of stuff. So the tea times are there, but they're a little harder to get.
John Keller wants to know if you've got the honeymoon suite.
No.
What? You mean your old man's so cheap he won't even swing for that?
There is a man in the Villages who is married, and every time he sees me, he asks me to marry him.
And you said yes?
No.
Is he rich?
No.
Oh, well.
That's why
If
he
you're
wants to marry me.
I told all my granddaughters, if you're going to get married, if you just get married for money. Don't worry about anything else. Just get married for money.
No. You have to
Yeah.
have love.
No, you don't have to. That's all fallacy. Let me tell you what. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about that word.
Look at
There are
Sue.
so many people that use that all the time. They love everything. Oh, love you. Oh, love you. Hey, love you. Hey, oh, love you. They say it so much that it actually means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. And all these people that say that word all the time, they get divorced. That's how much they really care. But if you never say it, ever say it, and everybody knows it, she or he doesn't never say that. And then when you use it that one time to some person, that's a special thing because he never says that.
Can y'all hear it? See my eyes roll back mad.
Congratulating me.
Well,
Flies to Las Vegas because I plan to do I do videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and I still plan to do that.
What?
The WrestleMania.
What do you say?
He said,
Everyone, please congratulate Melody Lane and wish her a long and healthy marriage.
I'm sorry, Melody.
Where do we send the marriage gifts? You know, the cards.
Well, I can tell you my address. I share that. I get viewer mail. You can send me a wedding gift.
Yeah, I want to send you a card.
Okay. I open viewer mail the first Saturday of the month, except for May. I won't be home.
James Ware says now you need to stand in line for TP and golf tees. E.M. Larson, yeah, he's been on here before. Said maybe she wants to marry. Well, never mind.
No, I don't want to.
That's what I didn't want you to
I don't want to
say.
be a man or a woman.
First it says Laura's right.
Nobody telling me what to do.
Laura's right. First time for love, second time for money, third time for more money. That's what I say. Okay, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for showing up, guys. I know it was a last minute thing. Everybody's got nothing to do, really. And you can't even go to the beach.
No.
You live in front of the beach.
I can see it, though. I can see it and enjoy it. So.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Well, that's kind of like the carrot dangling in front of the donkey.
We all want to get back to the villages, right?
Yeah, well,
Right.
I'm going.
We want to go back to normal. That's what we want.
Yeah, I don't care if I go back there or not. I just like to. Actually, truth of it is, I'd love to keep on going west a little further, and go up that. Well, I'm halfway there, you know.
And hassle you. That's what he wants to do.
But she's got, and the doctors did call. It took a week. The doctor did finally call her back yesterday to substantiate her new appointment.
Oh, good.
They are still working.
Well, as of yesterday, they were working.
Yeah, but y'all stay safe.
Yeah. And I'll see everybody the 4th Wednesday of next month, not the last Wednesday. And if it upsets everybody because the timing is off, it's Melody. She's the one.
Well, there's usually only 4 Wednesdays. It's just April has extra.
You know what I could do? I could have it on my normal last Wednesday, and then let Deb or Linda be the co-host for that one time.
Well, you are going to have a special guest, aren't you?
Well, I don't want to say it, but yeah, there's a possibility that I could have a special guest in April.
You should have Tom Hall on here sometime.
He's in Australia.
Yeah, that would be fun.
He's down there chasing women.
But I love the way that he makes fun of you and you make fun of him.
He's actually on live right now on his channel.
Yeah, I noticed that before we started.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Stay safe.
Be safe.
In a few weeks.
Bye.
I guess I'll see you when I see you, right?
See you on the other
Hey,
side.
don't take off yet. I got to do an outro. Then you can all say goodbye. I'm gonna put the outro over here, and all 3 of us over here, and then we'll say goodbye.
He just loves us.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Don't you think that'd be cool?
Give it a try.
We'll see.
Wait a minute. I gotta find it first. I got it. Share
I'm not on
screen.
there.
I'll be glad when they do some more updating on this.
Software?
Yeah, they've been doing it a little bit at a time.
They've been doing a good job, really.
We'll see. What does that look like right there? I got all 3 of us on there?
No.
No.
You all.
Well, that don't look right at all, does it?
It's on YouTube.
Well, that's where I usually go. And then I make it bigger. Wait a minute. I know what I'm doing. I know what
There
to
you
do.
go.
Yeah, but no, I want all 3 of us on there. It'll be like that.
Okay.
There you go.
Then we
All
can
right.
sign off and say goodbye. So say
I don't
goodbye,
know what
everybody.
you're doing.
Bye-bye. See you next month.
Nope, that ain't it either. There it is. Basketball. Now we do that.